up, bitches?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, what's going on there, Dan?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah, I
can.
can hear you.
Monopoly doesn't count as a board game.
Yeah,
Just
but
garbage.
still, there's other board games that you don't have to know the backstory like you do with comics. You know what I mean?
Depends. You could pick up any graphic novel usually and just kind of read it without knowing the backstory. You could grab any.
Bullshit. No way. No,
Yeah.
you walk into a comic book store today, you pick up Batman number whatever. You're like, well, I don't even know what the hell's going on right now. Like, you have to go back and read like previous.
No, sometimes.
comics.
Okay, if you want to get know every single part of it, sure. But you could walk in, pick up Infinity Gauntlet, and read it. Or, like Dark Knight Rises or something, or Dark Knight Returns.
Sure.
You could pick that up and just start reading it. And you don't have to know every single Batman villain. I mean, there's a lot of villains in there, but you don't have to know them all.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I just feel like there's a lot of deep lore that goes along with it. That
There can be, yeah. But
it makes. I would imagine it's way nerdier than.
It's more nerdy than board games. I'm going to say for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's nerdier, Star Trek or Star Wars, though?
Star Trek.
I would say Star Trek 100% because I think the nerddom there is just.
I disagree.
I don't know. There's a lot of
own worst
minutia.
enemy.
Huh?
Star Trek is its own worst enemy.
See, I would say the same thing about. I would say the same thing about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars is different because of the Force within it. You now know there's no freaking possibility. So it's fantasy, not sci-fi. So when there's fantasy, it's make-believe. Star Trek is based on some realities in a much more tangible way for people. Are you recording this shit?
Yes, I am.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Star Trek, being generally purely sci-fi. I know there's some stories within it that are more make-believe kind of thing. It is more tangible to real nerds. So you get the physicists and the people who are just and I'm not trying to be bigoted towards nerds. So if you're a nerd out there and you listen to this, you hear this.
No, nerds are great.
I'm not picking on you. I was a nerd once too, but I mean, it's
yeah. You're not anymore though.
Yeah, that's all the time. Yeah,
I'm a totally different kind of nerd. But I mean, you can pick apart Star Trek down to the essence and base it on science, where Star Wars is based on fantasy, pure fantasy.
I mean, I think you can definitely debate that because there's stuff in Star Trek that I mean, you're not going to have inertial dampeners or transporters with I mean, that kind of stuff, though maybe.
But it's based on, it's theoretical. A lot of that stuff is theoretically possible.
Yeah, but
versus...
it wasn't. They didn't come up with it because, oh, hey, this is theoretically possible. They came up with it because it's oh, hey, the shuttlecraft isn't done yet. We got to figure out how we're going to get people from the ship to the planet, on the show.
But I mean, now we know, you can literally transport a molecule, a photon from point A to point B. And so we have the basis for science fact.
Yeah, I mean, it's there. I mean, a lot of the kids that grew up on Star Trek grew up to become, deep scientists.
Yeah. But I'm just saying the difference between Star Trek nerddom and Star Wars nerddom is the difference between people who geek out about space and Lord of the Rings, space being
NASA
physics and space, real space travel and NASA, and
so you're saying the difference.
Comparing that with
you're
Lord of the
saying
Rings.
Dungeons and Dragons nerds versus actual science nerds. I mean, that's what you're saying. What about fandom toxicities though, and things like that, where the nerdiness becomes that level, which Star Wars has oozing everywhere? Oh, by the way, welcome, episode 48 of the Burning Ewok podcast. I'm your host, Justin Granson. With me, as always,
Chuck. Hi, how you guys doing? We're talking about nerd stuff.
And Dan.
And Dan.
What are you saying? No, go ahead.
Hi.
Continue on.
So I think, so if you bring up like fandom toxicity, I mean, I don't know that I get into the. So I think it's important to do this, right? Is you got to look at it if we're coming at it from the perspective of a nerd or like a fan base in terms of like I don't know what's our what are we really talking about? Like
It's kind
how
of whatever.
nerd is one nerdier or the other?
That's what we're determining. Like, what is the
Okay.
nerdiest?
Yeah.
So is
So
the
when you
science
talk
is the
about-
science nerd the nerdier than the guy who goes LARPing on Sunday afternoon?
Well, you brought up toxicity, and what I want to say is that
Which comes from passion.
right. Well, no, not always, right? So
Yeah.
Star Wars.
You're right. I'll
Star
give you that.
Wars, due to its popularity and visibility, because I think everybody can say that Star Wars is a more universally loved franchise than Star Trek, right? Universally, meaning it is way more widely viewed.
It's more mainstream. Yes, it's more mainstream.
It's a much huger franchise mainstream, right?
Very huge.
The hugerist.
It's more hugest.
The hugest of all of them.
All right, it's more better.
More asbestos.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm channeling Drop Dead Gorgeous right now. Star Wars has brought over a toxicity that is not generated really by the fan base, but has attracted an external toxic, culture to latch onto the mainstreamness of it, to use Star Wars to put down ethnic groups and in the like, right? I think we all acknowledge that.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I got it. Yep, yeah. I like it. I agree.
Now if we talk about the base in terms of toxic of loyalty of fan base and my nerdiness is better than your nerdiness, I would say Star Trek is way worse. meaning real Star Trek fans and their ability to look down on their nose at like Star Wars fans or any other fandom, because they can not only love and be passionate about their thing, their Star Trek little kitty, their little box of joy, their little present of Star Trekness.
Little Tribble, Dan. Tribble.
Yeah, their little Tribble. The trouble with that, with them is
the trouble with Tribbles.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
The trouble with the Tribbles is that there's so much that's actually based on fact now in this day and age with Star Trek, and we have come along so far since the days of Gene Roddenberry in terms of science. You can actually start to form a basis for reality within the Star Trek world, and that just reinforces their like, oh, this is totally real. This could be this is a thing, like we know we can, sublight speed is a real thing versus, light speed is bullshit, and I think there's actually like a Big Bang episode or series of episodes about this, which is really funny.
Sure I think I don't know that toxicity though should be a staff that we measure by, because I think everybody, like every fandom probably has some level of that, I mean, there's always like, oh, well, I like the Cubs, you like the Sox. There's like in sports, there's that kind of thing. And I don't, sometimes it's legit. Like sometimes there's people who are really pissed off about it. Other times it's just, just for fun. But, but I was listening to this podcast earlier and they were talking about Magic people and they were like, man, Magic people are the worst. And I've never really been in that scene, so I don't know, but is that true? Like, I don't know.
Like when it comes to toxicity or nerdiness?
Toxicity. Well, I guess not toxicity, but just like rudeness, probably more than toxicity.
There's always comes an arrogance when you've got a lot of competition in Magic.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
You're going to get a lot of arrogance, and somebody's like, "Well, I figured out this, and you're only using that spell. you need to use this card, and that'll easily wipe that out." And I see that with playing Star Wars Unlimited. I see it with everything like that. I like the idea of like pulling back on the toxicity, like you guys said, though, because like I do think that's more reserved for the people that are using like Dan said, using Star Wars as a tool to get their like homophobic or racist message or misogynistic views across, and like using that as like a tool, and so let's not even acknowledge them. They don't count. They're not fans. They're not. That's nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I would prefer to say like, is the scientist who likes Star Trek more nerdy than the Lord of the Rings person that goes LARPing? Like that's I'd rather.
That's
like,
really.
Like,
I don't.
What is
think it
nerdier?
is.
And I think those are.
And I will fully acknowledge, right, there are nerdy Star Trek and nerdy Lord of the Rings fans out there who have built the mythical reality down to the same level as the, factually based science in Star Trek, right? But I also think, it's less toxicity and it's more obsession, right? And I'll use Pokemon for this. Because I don't know why, but all of a sudden I keep seeing the video of the guy, like the $1,200 guy. There's that video out there of the really big guy whose mom's yelling at him for spending all the money.
Oh yeah,
on Pokemon.
yeah.
It's like, do people really spend $1,200 on Pokemon? And he's like, yeah. If they want to catch them all, they're gonna spend $1,200 on it, right? That's
that guy is funny.
Really I love that guy.
That's not legit, right? Like.
That was legit.
What?
Yeah.
Regardless, I'll say people will spend $1,200 on Pokemon.
Oh,
cards.
easily, $1,200.
Yeah. Easy.
Now,
some of that's like
the
a
real.
month.
Here's the thing, Dan. The whole time. Now, this all comes from a podcast I was listening to earlier, and they were talking about like what nerd things are more nerdier than others, and to me, like I sit down, I think about like sports, for example, the guys who are into like. Name a sport, anyone. Baseball comes to me because
baseball's the nerdiest of sports.
So. It is, but there's guys who are just as nerdy about every other sport.
Now we're going to go to the same thing. You're going to say with the analytics and everything, sure. That's like the sciencey side of where like physicists and mathematicians love baseball, statisticians love baseball the most.
Sure.
So that nerdiness is going to come from there. But we're going to go to the LARPing football players who are going to dress up with a cheese head or put a big bear mask with all the paint on their face, paint their bodies, and go out, like there's some warrior in the stands every weekend. Is that like that's like that same comparison now?
I don't think so.
Like which one's nerdier? I don't.
The guy that can go like the 86, whatever baseball team. Yankees, they had this guy and this guy and this guy and
Red Sox.
If you know Red Sox, whatever. If you knew every stat, if you knew every stat from every team from all those years, like I think that's a level of nerddom that's way beyond like, hey, look at me, I put a B on my chest for Bears.
But then that dude that's got the B on his chest is crying because in 1985 Walter Payton dropped the ball once, and crying in the parking lot of Soldier Field. It's just like there's that where you get that level of obsession. Then we're going back to the obsession thing again. So it's just like, is the obsession or like having knowledge and understanding math and remembering things because you're also obsessed? Which one? I think they're the same. Like we talk about these things, Lord of the Rings, baseball, Star Trek, Star Wars. I love them all.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I do. I love all these things that we're talking about. I love sports. I love fantasy. I love science. I love science fiction, science fantasy, you name it. I love all these things kind of equally in a lot of ways. So
I was talking to Renee real quick on we went for a walk earlier, and I was like, you could even apply this to like people who are into cars.
Yeah.
People, like anything has that level of nerddom that you could easily find people in.
Yeah.
Can we talk about something outside of fandoms for level of nerdiness? Check out the picture I just sent you guys.
I saw it.
All right, I'll look at it
on Google Chat. Tell me if you've seen this picture before, because it's going around Reddit right now.
If I've seen it before.
It's amazing. I love it.
I don't know if we can...
So these are guys that are, like, they're adding tech to their bodies, right?
This is the mid-1990s MIT wearables team. So there was a team, and they had competition between the various colleges in the 90s like we have robotics today. There was a wearables team that they would have competitions with other schools.
This picture will
this
be
is-
in the opening credits of the show today, of today's show.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So this is real nerdum. My hats off to the MIT crew of the mid '90s. You take the cake. You take the cake.
I thought they were like a Def Punk cover band. I didn't know.
It looks like
guy on the
Punk,
left, the way his bag's on, is got his baggy stonewashed jeans. Love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
it's all good.
Yep. And the guy with
trench
the
coat.
leather jacket trying to be cool, and the trench coat guy with one.
Yeah, I like
Oh my
the
God.
trench coat guy. He
I love
scares me.
I love the
The trench
guy
coat guy makes
in
me
the
nervous.
middle with the antenna on his hat.
All right.
Great.
So I didn't realize
right.
it was an antenna. All right, nerds. All right, so
Speaking
Revenge
of
the
nerds,
So,
speaking of nerds.
all right, so we wanted to talk about a movie, like a little bit long overdue. It's probably out of theaters by the time you hear about this.
Yeah, probably.
So we're going to talk about the Thunderbolts.
I think that we should.
Okay, that's what we talked about. So that was a nice little opener, nice little 20-minute opener for us to throw. I'm throwing it all in there, guys. It's all there. It's good stuff. I like it.
No, this is like kind of like we had a mini discussion about it because Chuck hadn't seen it yet, right? So a couple episodes ago, we touched on it briefly, right?
Yes.
So Chuck, you got to see it.
Talk.
So I think let's hold up real quick. So Justin gave it like 2 big thumbs up.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
2 huge
thumbs up. And I gave it a solid B plus because I think it gets wrapped up still like a lot of the Avenger movies do, Marvel movies do, with the cliches.
Spoilers. You're gonna have to talk about. We're gonna have a lot of spoilers in there because I'm gonna tell you this is the least cliche of all of them.
I don't think so at all.
Okay.
I think it hits on just about every. I think we talked about it once before, but it still hits on like every cliche from all these movies.
Maybe. I don't really care about that as much. I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. Again, my favorite character, Winter Soldier, is in it, and but wow. The Bill Pullman's son, right, is the plays Bob. Freaking awesome. I was like, this guy's cool. I just liked him as a part. Like, I just liked that character a lot. I thought that was a really cool character.
I'm seriously worried about Bob. Like, I'm seriously worried now. Because I really, really loved him, and I'm afraid that he's going to die in Doomsday. Like, Doom's going to just wreck him.
It might be.
Like, I could see, like, from things that, I've kind of heard about even before filming, like, talks like, what would you do with Doom and bring him into the world? You have to make him a threat. Just like Thanos, you had to make Thanos a threat. Thanos goes and just like messes the Hulk up and Loki and everybody up right away, right? What do you do with Doom? Well, you kill the Avengers, right? So now you've got these Avengers that nobody really cares about. Obviously, by box office returns, we know nobody cares about them. So they're disposable.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them all go like really quick.
So I'll just bring up the little I know of Sentry, right, and Void, is that, Marvel has killed him and brought him back in various ways throughout the story of Sentry based on the research that I did on him.
Yeah, because he sucks. He sucks in the comics.
So, like, he gets killed, but Void is still there, so it's one of those things where, like, the one keeps bringing the other back in various ways, and it just seems like
the world
they could easily kill him off and bring him back.
And the story in the comics most of the time is the world completely forgot that he existed. So he's been in comic lore since the very beginning, but all of us, including the readers, have all forgotten about it. So there's all these adventures that get written that get kind of put back into the story of what actually happened, and Sentry was there. And so I like that idea. It just never really falls right. It just seems like, and he's too overpowered because he's as strong as Superman is. It just doesn't really work in the Marvel universe as well. So, but they really they found the sweet spot with him in the movie, and I really like what they did with him there. So,
I agree. He's a great hero villain / villain, right? Great character. I thought it was very cool. I like how
and the Void was incredible. especially at the end. And that's what I'm going to say. Like, man, this is the first movie, like big budget blockbuster movie that ended with a hug. I mean, a hug wins the day in this movie. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's just like we didn't need like a giant epic fight. It was a hug. You know, I mean, it's just like it's just like you might have somebody jump off a building and like do the superhero land or something like that. Who freaking cares? That's not that might be a cliche like shot, but it's like as far as like thematically in a movie, in a superhero movie, I think this is like did a lot of things that were different. You know, and that's why I don't think it's like I want you to. You said you were going to have a list. I want to hear what you said. Where all the cliches.
I actually never went back and did the list. I thought I was going to get a chance to see it again before we did this, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So I apologize for not being prepared.
Well, I mean, we could discuss like because I know you've got some like other thoughts on it. And I know overall we all liked it. So it's like we're not really bashing the movie in any certain way or anything like that, but I think it's like worth a discussion. I thought it was pretty refreshing. I really felt that way, but you know, and I'm somebody who's seen them all. You know, I've seen every bit of it. I've watched. The only thing I haven't seen is season 2 of What If, because I really just don't care. But I don't know, Chuck. What else? What else? Like, where else were your thoughts on it?
I loved the idea of, hey, what if we took the super serum and gave it to somebody who was mentally unstable? I was like, oh, that's such a great idea. And like basically the whole movie was how do you battle depression, basically. Depression, anxiety, and self-doubt, it's, you know, self-loathing and all this stuff. And I loved how like this group of like how they kind of formed. They were all like put in a situation where they had to fight together to survive, and then they just kind of stuck together after that. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a buddy comedy kind of movie, you know. David Harbour was hilarious as the Red Guardian. Red Guardian, yeah. Him and his daughter, like the actress who played his daughter, was amazing, dude. I'm like, I thought for sure. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to even be interested in this character, you know. And I found her to be fascinating. Like I found her the whole thing, like her like not being fulfilled in her job and like the whole idea of like the best of it was when we're in the streets and we're rescuing people. Like that was when.
There we go. Thank you.
That was the best of it, right? And like, so there was this hunger to be heroes, but they were kind of all because of whatever their history or whatever, and because of who they worked for, they were kind of all not heroes, you know. And then they actually had to turn against who they were working for in order to survive, because, you know, she was trying to kill them all. And so, you know, they had to become heroes in the end. And I thought that was really cool. And the way he spun it at the very end of the movie, I was like, oh my God, that's genius. Diabolical, though, but genius.
What do you guys think of the offing of Taskmaster, like, so quick, though? Like, she's on all the posters, she's doing all the stuff, and takes a bullet to the head pretty early on. She's in the movie for 10 minutes.
Did she even have any lines? Like, I don't even remember if she said much.
One. I think she says one thing.
She had, like one or two things that she said. I'm like, what?
Yeah. That probably like a lot of people, like Taskmaster is like a lot of people's favorite, or a lot of people really like Taskmaster as a villain. Totally done in a different way here, where it's not like a Black Widow, because if you saw Black Widow, you find out that's one of the sisters of both of them. So, I don't know. I was just like, I knew somebody had to die. They couldn't keep them all, but figured it would be her or Ghost. Ghost they made kind of cool though. I like that.
I thought Ghost was cool.
Yeah, my favorite bit about Ghost was when they're trapped in the incinerator, and they figure out a way to get her out, because they know, they thought of everything, they stopped it from everything, so they figure out how to get Ghost out of there, and they let her out there, and then there's that moment: is she just gonna leave, or is she actually gonna come back and help? And I like those little bits in there. I thought were pretty good character moments, and I don't know. I think she's gonna die in Doomsday. I think they're all going to die in Doomsday.
Everybody dies in
Except for
Doomsday.
maybe Elena. Like, because honestly, I think Florence Pugh could run the entire MCU. She's that, like you said, she's that good. I think she's like the best. I absolutely think she's amazing.
I am bummed that the movie didn't do better. I really am, because I feel like the cast was excellent. Like, they really worked well together.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like movies all over the place right now too. I mean, movies are kind of struggling. I mean, it's kind of amazing how well Sinners did, considering it's a new IP, and just like word of mouth, because it didn't like open super big, but it's just kind of maintained a really nice run, and now it just hit video. So I'm thinking about just picking that up and watching it this week, because I heard it's amazing.
I don't know what the hell's going on with movies right now, but like Wes Anderson, I've never seen one of his films as advertised as this new one that he's got coming out. I think they're
really pulling on the cult status of Wes Anderson movies to try and pull people to the theater to watch it. Really.
But at this point, I've seen half the movie, I feel like. I mean, I've seen so much of it because I've seen 800 different trailers for it.
Yeah,
like literally.
A lot of them. So
it looks amazing.
I want to go see it too. Yeah, it looks great.
So Kurt Russell's son plays the what's his name? Because he was Captain America for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's U.S. agent.
Gary Watts or whatever, right?
Yeah. He's great in this.
Or John Walker. John Walker. That's
John Walker. Yeah. U.S. agent.
He's great.
Yeah.
He was really great in this movie too.
I really
liked him.
In like I didn't realize that people disliked him so much in the Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
Yeah,
there was a lot of like online hate for his character, and like my whole thought was, well, you're kind of supposed to hate him.
Yeah, he's kind of
weaselly.
he kills that dude.
He's kind of despicable, and he's out for himself. And I think they do a great job of making that character. You give that character an entire resolution, and not resolution, but like turn him around. Yeah, it's a redemption arc.
It's a redemption arc because his family.
You see, he's terrible with his family, his kid. He's just neglectful, and he's just like a depressive husk. And seeing him turn that around, I thought that was great. And he's very funny. But man, when he talks, like I can't not hear his dad, like from Big Trouble Little China. Like I hear it like constantly.
Really, I've not had that issue,
like,
but
it just like I don't know. It looks like him and everything. I just see him. Yeah, and I don't mind that because Kurt Russell's one of my favorite. But
So do you remember the movie Soldier?
Mm-hmm.
Where Kurt Russell played he plays the son. He plays him when he was 11, like because they show him like growing up through the soldier program. He plays the character as
holy crap.
As the 11-year-old.
So wait, Wyatt plays the younger version of his dad.
Version of the
that's
dad,
crazy. I love that. Yeah. Holy cow, man! Soldier. That is a movie I've not thought about in a long time.
Yeah, I've not thought of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw it in the theater.
Wow. Oh,
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, so like I pretty much saw everything back then.
Is there anything else you want to talk about Thunderbolts here?
Well, I want to hear what your cliches were.
I mean, it's like okay, so there's the scene where Void, they're in the office building, right? So let's take this one, right? So they're in the office building, they're pushing everybody back, and the one character who has 0 superpowers is able to make it through all the debris by flipping like a little freaking, frog or gecko or whatever the hell, and make it to Void, right, without getting hit by anything. When, she's a super agent, but she's not super powered, right? So she dodges bullets, and it's just a very, you can't dodge a bullet, buddy.
No, I know you can't.
Let's get nerdy here, right?
I mean, if you watch any television,
right? So there's the scene when they're in the car, right, in the middle of the desert, and they're getting chased by the Humvees with their robotic, 50 cals on top, and Walker's able to take his shield and put it in the back of the truck, and somehow all the bullets miss all of them except for that tiny little round shield in the back. It's that kind. It's the A-Team effect, where they're standing in the middle and everyone's shooting at them are like stormtroopers now. They can't hit a side of a barn building.
But that's what it is, though. I mean, you said it right there.
Yeah, but it's
like
clearly not as egregious.
Stormtroopers shoot everybody but the heroes. The orcs.
But they didn't shoot everybody, right?
The orcs shoot everybody except Boromir.
This is the exact same conversation we had last time.
But that's what it. I mean,
it's always going to be that way.
Things. I mean, that's just like
you can't be fresh and keep doing the same thing for 45 movies. And
and that's what I'm saying. They're all going to get killed in the Thunderbolts.
That's right. Yeah, I mean,
in Doomsday. So the bullets will hit them. It's like.
So don't put them in that. Like we already know they're the anti-heroes of the superheroes. The superhero team. Don't put them in that stupid situation where nothing's going to happen to them. So don't put them in this situation because it insults my intelligence, right?
See,
well,
I would say like a bigger cliche was be putting them in a death box. Like that is a cliche.
I mean, that's nothing new either, right?
But I love that. I love that. That's what I want to watch. That's what I'm watching these movies for. Put them in a scenario where there's a timer, and if they don't figure out how to get out of the room, they're all going to die from incineration. That's like Batman. Tune in next week, same bad time, same bad channel. I like that.
Absolutely.
But it's just too overplayed. All these little superhero movie cliches are just too overplayed, and it's just come up with something original to get them from point A to point B. Right. Rather than a chase by robotic Humvees that can't shoot anything except for the shield.
But because the idea was, how do you introduce Winter Soldier into that scene? The scene where Elena's able to get through debris is because Elena's the one that's been talking to Bob the whole time. So Bob, she's the one that needs to connect with him. And it's just like, so it's like everything that kind of gets from point A to point B that you're mad about, it's just like, I don't know. I guess you could be mad about. I don't know.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just like, this is.
Or even tired of it. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say about it. Like, I know what you're saying, but it's just like everything is formulaic. You're saying as soon as they break formula and put out an Eternals, everybody goes, ugh.
I didn't go. I loved the Eternals.
I do too. But I mean, they're saying that at the box office, and then people don't go see this movie because they see something different because it's not your regular superheroes.
Right now, if you make a Marvel movie, right, there is like the Marvel scene creator 1000 in the background somewhere, and they're spinning the wheel to see what the next scene's going to be. And it's a scene from another Marvel
movie.
But I mean, that joke's in She-Hulk also. Another thing that nobody watched. I mean,
whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
I mean, no. She-Hulk literally breaks the fourth wall, and that's like part of the show.
I know. Well, and they make it. It's really funny because Yelena makes the joke in Black Widow, right? About, oh, you do the stupid thing with your hand. Why do you do that, right? And then she does it, right? And I think it's funny the first time, but it's not funny how they keep making her be the cliche in all these scenes. So, it's just, I don't know. Did you listen to yourself in the last movie? No.
I don't know, man. You might be nerding out harder than all of us on this right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's just what me, not being the nerdy.
I don't know. I think this is making you a bigger nerd.
No, I think if you want realism, go watch a war movie or something. These are like fantasy movies. These are like, the bad guy's not going to get shot because that would suck. Like nobody wants to see that.
No, but I mean, and I'm not saying I need realism, but it's like I don't need the same scene retread for every movie, and sometimes multiple times in the same movie. Find a new way to do it, right?
I love. I mean,
there's only so many ways to do it.
I love the first three Die Hard movies, and they repeat a lot of things in those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would not go out there going, all right, Die Hard 4. It's like, what are we going to see next, right?
Die Hard 4 is trash. But but it's not because of that. It's got more issues.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, I know, but at some point, John McClane needs to not be the center of those, right? I don't think
he will never be the center of another movie again.
No, he's done. Yeah, he's done. It's very sad.
I mean, Bruce is, but not John McClane. Right?
I guess, yeah.
I think it kind of
We
comes
will
back
recast
to
him. They'll redo
originality in Hollywood, right? And
so that's what we got to do. We gotta. I want to sometime down the road when we run out of ideas. I'll always have this idea in my back pocket of what I want to do on the show, and that is to start like on episode 1 of Star Wars and say what we would do different if we were gonna like start and like redo the Star Wars movies, but we have to start with episode 1. So episode 1's the first one we're releasing. How would we cast it? How would we do things? What would we take out? What would we add? And how would we do it?
The recast. Well, so here's the problem. Like,
I
you
want to get into
recast it.
Oh, okay. Well.
Okay, yeah, but I'm like, do you cast it with people today, or do you cast it with people from all over, like the whole history of film? Like,
no, it'd be like right now, today we'd be doing it. Yeah. So like you could have like a certain amount of like, well, I want unknowns to play these roles, but I think like in the Qui-Gon Jinn thing, you got to have like a well-known commodity, similar to like an Alec Guinness or a Liam Neeson. You have to have that anchoring your thing. For that type of character, I think it's good to have that type of thing. But anyway, see, we'll save this. Save it. Anyway, I don't have anything else on Thunderbolts.
I don't have anything more on Thunderbirds. I think that it's a shame. Well, actually, hold on. I do actually have a little bit more.
I don't have anything.
I know you did say Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds.
I don't like the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbolts. So anyway, I do have one more thing.
Okay.
So there is an after credits sequence that ties
hilarious.
Into the movie.
Which one? There's 2.
There's 2, but the one I'm speaking of ties into the Fantastic Four.
The big one. It's the biggest post-credit scene they've ever done. Yeah.
Okay, and it was really good. I thought that was a really good scene. But I don't know if you guys have heard, but Fantastic Four is getting their ending rewritten, right, or reshot.
No,
they're reshooting it.
The show's in the can. It's already done.
No, I just heard that they were reshooting because the test screenings went poorly.
No,
I just heard this.
They're not reshooting anything. It's complete. It comes out in 2-3 weeks. It's done.
All right.
They did started doing reshoots, but that was last month. That was back in the beginning.
They did some last month. They finished it.
Okay.
They finished it already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I heard the whole story on the test screenings. It was like the same thing as the Superman test screenings. I would not put much into any of that. Doesn't mean the movie's good or bad.
No,
I wouldn't.
No, I'm not. I wasn't saying either way. I was just saying that I wonder if it would affect that because, you know.
I do know that Paul Feige was talking about that the sequence and the ship that comes through and whether or not the actual Fantastic Four are on it or not. He's like, there is a ship, there is something known that, but he's like, I'm not so sure it's a Fantastic Four on there.
Oh my God!
So like, kind of hinting, like, okay, is that Doom coming through? Is that something else? What's happening?
Right,
You know, how does it link in with everything else?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know one of the? So you got me intrigued here now, and I totally heard this the other day. One of the best reshoots after failed test screenings of all time is Little Shop of Horrors.
Really?
So the original ending of Little Shop of Horrors was the plants break out and kill everybody.
It's amazing. You can watch it online. You can actually go on YouTube and watch it. I've seen it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay, I heard it. I haven't seen it.
So what did they say? The test screening didn't like it?
The test screens were so bad. People got up and left in the middle of the test screenings. They hated it so bad.
It's awesome. It's Audrey is just ripping through it's like a Godzilla movie at the end. It's amazing.
I think I've seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I think the DVD you could flip to either version for the ending too.
No, really? Okay, yeah, I have the DVD done.
Yeah, you might. It's on some DVDs, not all of them, I don't think. But the ending is on YouTube, and I highly recommend watching it. So it's it's bonkers. Like what? Yeah,
that's amazing.
Because it's just watch it. I don't want to say anything else about it.
I think a lot of movies get changed after screenings.
Another famous one I think is Rambo: First Blood. It screened. It was like a 3.5-hour movie, and he never left the forest. So they
really?
reshot it. They reshot it and added this where he goes into town to kill the sheriff.
Yeah.
So they cut like an hour and reshot the ending to be in town with the showdown. That was not in the original ending.
That's interesting.
It seems to me that's a good move. That feels like a good move. Yeah, I like that. Like
Sylvester Stallone was like, "This is bad. This is not good. We got to redo this."
Okay, yeah. Well, just like Rogue One, is also one of the most famous. Like, because I remember when those reshots happened, everybody's like, "This movie's gonna tank. It's gonna be the worst."
They always do that. They're always like, "Oh, they're reshooting. That must mean the movie's bad." Not necessarily. You know what I mean? Like every movie, like almost every movie has some changes made to it.
Yeah. So there's a difference between like pickup shots, reshoots, things like that too. Yeah.
The problem that I have right now is that, so I don't think it's necessarily the quality of the films that are coming out. I just think there's like, people just aren't going to the movies. That's got to be it, right? Because I mean, these movies aren't bad. I haven't seen
well,
it's
people have gotten
expensive.
It's really expensive going to the movie, and it's really like I can go upstairs and get Sinners for $20 right now, instead of taking me and my wife to go see it for, $30 for our tickets, and then we're gonna get food, and we got to like plan it and everything like that. I could just go watch it in the comfort of my couch now.
Everybody, go see Sinners with your kids. Take your parents. Go see it with your parents. Real family movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's not true.
Have you seen it?
He's done.
No, but Jana's parents went to go see it, and I had read all about it. And they went to see it, and they came back, and Roy was like, "What the fuck did we just watch?"
That was like,
because there's so much sex in it, on top of the gore, that they were like, "We had no idea what we were in for."
That was like
no idea at all.
I remember going to my grandparents in like 1994. And they're like, "Yeah, we went and saw this movie. We walked out like half hour in. It was just awful. It was Pulp Fiction." And I'm like, "Yeah, there is like as soon as like the heroin scene happens, they're like, nope, they're done. Like this is, and they did not understand or connect with that in any way, shape, or form."
So have I told the story about going to see a Christmas movie with Jana's parents and her grandma and all of her family before?
Yeah, I think so. Is it like?
So it's like Christmas Eve, like we did like or Christmas Day Eve, and like we wanted to go see a movie. Jana's grandma was up, and so we're like 3 or 4 of her uncles and aunts, and we're all like, "All right, let's go see a movie with there's this new Christmas movie with Billy Bob Thornton, so let's go check it out."
Yeah.
And so we go to the Lake in the Hills AMC, and I remember sitting there, and you get to the point where Billy Bob's girlfriend is like riding him, and he's like, "F me Santa, F me Santa, F me Santa," and Jana's grandma turns to everybody and goes, "What did you bring me to?"
Oh no!
Ever.
Oh no! Terrible!
Oh my god! Bad Santa. Do not see that with your.
Don't bring your grandma.
Don't bring your grandma. No, bad choice there.
I
didn't watch a lot of film with my grandma. Never watched a lot of film with my grandma.
I saw, like, I went with my grandparents to it. They'd take me to movies all the time. That was like our thing. So like we saw Amelie with my grandma. Remember Amelie? Did you guys remember that?
Amelie. I never saw it.
So there's the scene where it's a French movie.
There's the picture is like on the box or whatever is like this woman with very pale or powdered skin.
Audrey Tautou. She's got she's wonderful. And there's a scene where she's like calling around to get information about things, and she's just like trying to make the world better for people and like fix things. And she calls an adult store, and like the first thing she's like, "Hello," and they're like, "Hey, what are you calling for? Where?" And then she's like, anyway, the word that's used is fur pie.
Oh no!
And like I'm giggling, and my grandmother starts giggling. She's like, "What's that?" You know, and it was like one of those like really uncomfortable situations. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
no.
I remember going with her to see like Naked Gun and some of the stuff in there, I mean, because every time I look around, I see something that reminds me about her, and then you see the
Yep, the mountains.
yeah, and like stuff like that, so there was always those uncomfortable moments,
Yeah.
I love that stuff. It's just like
So what though?
it's like when I was in high
Cares?
school, we were watching Catholic high school Girls in Trouble from
Oh no.
from it was one of the scenes from Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Mike Davis and I were watching it, and of course, the Catholic high school Girls in Trouble scene comes on just as my mom comes home with groceries.
Oh,
And we're like,
rough.
oh,
Boy.
those are the days.
More stuff, man. Did you see the Alien Earth trailer?
I
did
was
not
about to
watch
post it for you guys. It's amazing.
Dude,
It's so good.
fantastic.
It's so good. Yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh. Yeah, watch that after this is over, Chuck. You're gonna freak out.
Cool.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I mean, it's got really good people on it, and it's got a lot of love in it. I still got to get over the fact that it's aliens on Earth before the other alien movies happen, but I got to get over that.
So the trailer kind of makes it seem like maybe it's not so far in advance. I don't know.
Well, it's the year's 2125 or whatever.
Does it? Do
And
it show
like the
that you're in
the girl's like the first android.
I couldn't tell if that was just like
I don't know.
like the start of the movie is going to show that, but then it's later, much later with the same androids. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
doesn't. No.
Because there's literally a ship crashes in the middle of a city with the aliens.
But it's like other creatures on there too.
Yeah,
It wasn't just it was like really cool. Like I'm really curious to see what they're doing with it. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna watch any more trailers. I'm just gonna watch it when it comes out. And it comes out like what in like 2 weeks? Like
August.
August. Okay, so like a month and a half. Yeah, and
it's a show, right? Not a movie.
it's a
Yeah,
Hulu
it's a
show.
show.
Okay.
Okay, it's on Hulu. All right.
Yep.
So yeah,
Cool.
so I cannot wait to talk about that on this very podcast.
Yeah, man, a lot, and there's a lot more coming. So I really, really want to try and make time and go see the Phoenician.
Yeah, my son's like all about it. He saw that trailer, and we watched Royal Tenenbaums last week. And I'm like, you want to see some Wes Anderson? Here we go. He did not know what to think of. He's like, man, that was really good, but it wasn't quite as funny as I thought. I'm like, it's funny, but yeah, I know what you mean. You'll appreciate it more.
Weird. Yeah, they're all good though. Like that's the thing; they're just so different, and they're very artsy, and that's what makes them great.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably watch Ted Zissou or Life Aquatic.
Oh,
that one
is awesome. That's a good one too.
That and I really like the Royal Budapest Hotel. That's and
I've not seen that one. What was the other one that they did that came out after that? Wasn't there one after?
He's done a ton of
Grand Budapest.
Yeah, because then more recently he did the one with the asteroid.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I haven't seen that one.
It's
the asteroid.
That one's.
I hear
that is really
weird.
film nerdy. It's really film nerdy.
Asteroid City.
Asteroid City, yeah.
Yeah, Asteroid City, yeah.
Yeah, and the French Dispatch was the one before that.
French Dispatch is okay. If I'm gonna rank them. It's got some moments in it, but otherwise, it's not my favorite.
This one looks amazing only because, like, I probably saw 2 or 3 trailers before. I was like, "Is that Michael Cera?" Like, I could not even recognize him. That was so awesome. Yeah.
Did you guys get a chance to watch anything else lately? It's been a few weeks since we got.
Oh man, you guys, seriously. When you get this time of year when all the shows are over and then your wife's like, well, let's watch this. And then you end up watching like 5 episodes of Elsbeth. You guys ever heard of this show, Elsbeth?
Yeah.
So,
basically, it's like...
I know the character.
Like, what's his name? The old guy that was like, let me ask you a question. What was that guy's name?
Monk?
No, not Monk.
Who's before Monk?
The guy with the cigar in the corner.
Yeah.
Of the mouth, yeah.
And he had that one eye that looked off to the,
Yeah, well, she's a character from The Good Wife.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, yeah. So if you ever watch The Good Wife, which is a decent lawyer show, I really liked it.
Well,
But
she
it's
sucks.
a spinoff.
She's the worst. I
She's
cannot
really good in The Good
stand
Wife, but I cannot imagine doing a whole. And I
Okay.
think she got renewed for like
Well,
2 more seasons.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, people love it.
That
People love that show.
the show's fine. It does exactly what it's meant to do.
She bugs me only because it's like there's no reason why you should like. She gets these like. You know, I used to watch Psych, and he would like see clues, and he'd be like, "Okay, this is how this all went down," and you could see in his
Columbo.
brain he was
Columbo.
was like, yeah, Columbo.
Yeah.
You could he was figuring it out. She just all of a sudden just like I just have a feeling that that person did it, and it's like, what?
She's the eccentric, maybe slightly autistic lawyer that figures everything out and backs people in the corners without them ever knowing there was a corner in the room. You know.
I don't know. She's quirky.
Mhm.
I mean, there's fun bits. Like, there's a lot of fun bits, but she's just like, I don't know. She gets on my nerves. But my wife loves it. So
I'm sure someday I'll get bored and fired up. But I watched 1883 and 1923. Highly, highly recommend it. It neither descend into the silliness of the rest of Taylor Sheridan's shows eventually descend into. Love them both. Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic acting all throughout. Great cast.
there's
Great story.
so much to watch, though. There's so much good stuff. That's the thing. There's so much good content out there, and I wonder if that's what's killing the movie biz.
Could be. Yeah.
Because I mean, think about after we watched all those episodes of Andor, and then you watch the movie, and you're like, God, I wish that was 12 episodes.
Mhm.
I wish they delved into that a little bit more.
So speaking of movies, so my son came home from college, and we watched RoboCop.
New one or old one?
The original?
The original amazing masterpiece of a movie, and it still holds up and still amazing. And then we watched Terminator.
I watched Terminator like a week ago.
The first Terminator?
Terminator 1.
Yeah.
And then we
Original
went
Terminator?
into Terminator 2, where my son had no idea that Arnold Schwarzenegger was the Protector.
Oh.
Really?
He had no idea. And then we're watching
That's
it,
awesome.
and he's just like, huh. He's like this, speaking of Robert Patrick's character, he's like, huh. This guy seems way more put together than Reese was in Terminator 1, like is trying to track him down.
Mhm.
And he's like, and that Bad to the Bone thing was a little hokey. And I'm like, huh, okay. And then as soon as they come around the corner and the roses fall out of the shotgun box and he starts shooting them, and he had no idea the guy was made of liquid metal. It was all like, what? No idea.
Was he on his phone the whole time or what?
No, he just never. He was completely wrapped into the movie. Like into the movie.
Yeah,
he just did not know he would ever watched a trailer. I refused to watch trailers because I was like, I don't think he knows. So I didn't mention anything about it. And I'm like, we got to watch it. We watched, like the next night we watched 2. And I'm like, you can't watch anything. Don't look up anything on the lore. Trust me. And he watched, he's like, the only thing he knew is he's like Schwarzenegger and the thumbs up going into the lava. And he's like, I have no idea what context that is. And so, like, watching it all, he's like, oh my God, I love that movie so much. Yeah.
That movie is so good.
Totally hit him in a way that it never even hit me, the guy who saw it opening night, because I knew Schwarzenegger was going to be the Protector. I knew there was a dude. I'm watching the Guns N' Roses "You Could Be Mine" video 900 times before I saw the movie. So and like just seeing that was like the most amazingly awesome thing ever to witness, like him getting to see that. I was like,
cool.
Oh,
That's
how
really
cool is that? I think we watched one other movie, but I can't remember what it was. Royal Tenenbaums, and just kind of jumping all over the place. As far as shows go, did I tell you? Yeah, we did start Last of Us season 2, but after the second episode, my wife's kind of like, nope.
Oh wow,
it's rough. It's rough.
Like the road rough, or
oh yeah.
Okay.
Like every bit like as rough as the road, if not worse. Yeah, and I'm not kidding, man. We're gonna still finish it. She just like she had to go watch Elsbeth. She's like, I'm out here. I'm watching Elsbeth.
So I don't want to ruin anything for the show, but I feel like I heard some things like major character death. Like I thought it was in episode 2, but it might have been later.
I'm not going to say
there was,
anything. I'm not
I
saying
know nothing about the series at all.
Because
and
I'd heard a lot of people who didn't play the game that just liked the show, like they were like, nah, not watching it anymore after that. Like, which was kind of a bummer. But...
Oh no! I'm going to definitely watch the show. It's amazing, but it just, oof, yeah.
No, I heard it was rough. I heard it was very rough.
So we are rewatching Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
for the release this fall. Did you watch the release date teaser? It was a big thing in our household last week. Everyone got really excited. Yeah, it's literally just but I guess they released some stills from the upcoming season. So
I think I'm a season behind in that show still.
What? You didn't watch? Oh,
I did not watch the last season, which I heard
the
last season is great. The last one's great.
And
the one before, I really did. The two before it, I'm like.
So you didn't see Eddie and?
Yeah, Eddie's awesome. I didn't see the last two episodes. I didn't see the
Master of Puppets and.
Last thing I know is David Harbour's character is in Moscow or in Russia.
No, that's long.
That's the season before. Yeah.
So so I think I'm an entire season plus or whatever. That's the last thing I remember watching.
He's in Siberia, not
whatever.
Not Moscow. Yeah. So so you got to catch up because this is gonna be pretty epic. We're getting half the series first week in November, and then the other half in the first week of December, and the finale is being released on New Year's Eve.
Oh my God!
Like right as the ball drops, type of thing.
So December 31st.
Oh, okay. New Year's Eve.
That's all we know.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah. December's gonna be great.
Yeah. Also, one other update from me. I'm totally back into Interior Chinatown. I love it.
That's the Hulu one that's got the dude from Daily Show on it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I was almost went. You know what I've been watching? Oh, I've been watching Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
New season came out, right?
Yeah, but I'm watching. I'm back a little bit. Actually, I'm rewatching season. I think it's 5 or 6. One of them. What's the season that's going on right now? The new one. Anybody know? All right. Well, I'm 2 back from that. And kind of rewatching because I had seen him before, and I'm like, yeah, I remember this. Dude, anything with Mr. Nimbus, that makes me laugh. The dude looks like Namor.
Season 8, I think, just came out.
Okay, so I'm watching season 6 right now. Yeah.
I can tell you honestly, I've only ever seen 2 episodes.
Shut up.
I never watched it. No.
Man,
there's some absolute brilliance in there.
There was an episode called they were in the hospital watching intergalactic cable.
There's 2 intergalactic cable.
Yeah, there's the second one. It was the second one. I'm like, kids, you got to watch this. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. So Interior Chinatown, very good. Yeah. Okay. It's like getting better and better as it goes too. So I'll probably finish it. I'll probably watch the last 5 episodes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one for me. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember what else I've been watching, and I want to watch that Murderbot on Apple Plus.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Looks
really good. So that was on my list, and then
you should watch that.
Interior Chinatown for sure, and then Last of Us. So I think we talked about it. I caught up on Boys also. I did catch up on the Boys. That's what we're watching
the last 2 seasons. So.
Yeah, so I'm all caught up, and I've caught up with Gen V. And so I think there's going to be another season of Gen V that comes out, and then the final season of Boys comes out after that.
Crazy!
So that's like one of those ones where I think it's got the potential to end really strong. I think they've had a lot of filler in between, but
that's weird stuff on that show.
Oh my God, yeah, it's sometimes it's a little too much. Like really, like I'm like
that's the whole point. That's the whole point of that show. That's the whole point of that show.
I know, and it's just like I get it, but I you want to see things come to resolution, what they're gonna do, and I love the fact that people get mad that thought that Homelander was the good guy, or the people that still think Homelander's the good guy. That's the stuff that blows my mind.
Think that for 1 second. Like the dude melted a lady in like the first season.
He crashed a plane because he didn't want to.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, That guy sucks.
Yeah.
But everybody on that show is like not great. Like you're not like really rooting for anybody.
No, but honestly, I feel like if people had superpowers, this is how it would be.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
who watches The Watchmen? I mean, The Watchmen was like the greatest.
Yeah.
Nothing like a big giant blue penis to bring you down to Earth.
Or Mars.
Or Mars, yeah.
That's a Watchmen joke if you've ever seen it. Anyway, or read it. Anyway, all right. I think I'm good. You guys good today?
I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling good.
As Justin would say, time to put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it. Let's wrap it up. Like, subscribe to this nonsense. I do have one more thing to talk about. So the Switch release today, Switch 2 came out. Did you guys hear?
Awesome.
Okay, so some of these GameStops had practice of stapling the receipts to the front of the pre-orders. And the way the Switch is packaged, the screen is not very far away from the front of the package, which is poor design of packaging. And so they're stapling the receipts, and the little two prongs are hitting the screen and scratching them up and putting dings in them.
Shut up.
Yeah, so like you have like a pallet of like 30 of them, and they're all trashed. Yeah, and so people were like coming home and like all excited about their $500 investment. It's already got two little dings in it immediately. Yeah, like I don't even know how to take care of that.
I hear they are replacing all.
As
of
my mom would say, that would piss off the Pope.
Yeah, so I was like, man, Switch 2 maybe in a year for me. That's nothing I'd rush off to get right now.
I haven't bought an Xbox. I really want to. I was thinking, what game should I play if I buy a new Xbox? And I kind of want to play the remaster of Oblivion. I don't know. I never played Oblivion.
I'd say if you were to get a game, Baldur's Gate 3.
All right. Okay.
I think that would be your route to like something fully immersive, like next level, next gen. Because Oblivion is an old school game with a new fresh coat of paint, and it's fun and it's good. I've enjoyed what I've played of it, but I think you want to go deep. And like, did you play Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh, that was Xbox One. You did?
That was the greatest. That was the best Western game of all time, dude.
2? You played 2?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
All time?
Western, I like the first one. But
I don't know, man.
For Western, Western game?
My game Western that
here we go.
most feels for me video game is the old LucasArts Outlaws.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It has like the full-blown spaghetti Western soundtrack going on for it. Yeah. That was so much fun. I can still hear "Hey partner" in my back of my mind while the music's playing and you're hopping on the top of the train, man. That was a great one.
So I'll tell you what.
Incidentally, the Pope does play video games.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
The new Pope plays Wordle and Words with Friends like every day.
Those are
the Vatican
those are considered video games?
I believe there's speculation that he also Pope Leo the 14th or whatever is he also apparently he at one time was a Nintendo geek too. So Sox fan and Nintendo geek for you there.
Hey, he already got me a new owner happening pretty soon, so we're slowly but surely we'll get there. If you're gonna get an Xbox, Chuck, can you also, if you do get Game Pass though, I can finally finish the Gears of War.
I already have Game Pass.
Well, then we could finally play some Gears of War again, because that's what I've been wanting to do.
Dude, let me know. I'll play.
All right. Like Gears, like honestly, like I could install Gears of War on the PC and play it.
It'll be at the end of this month because it'll be at the end of the month.
Yeah. So I would like to, because we never finished Gears 4.
Right. We never did finish.
Gears 5 came out, so I would just like to.
Let's do it.
We played the first 3 together. Like he and I played them. Now, I'm not discounting Dan. You're totally welcome. You're in.
No problem.
But yeah, let's all do it and play through it, because those campaign. Like I started playing the campaign on 4, and like this is super fun, but it's so much more fun with somebody else. Because when you get downed and you're like relying on the AI to get you, it sucks.
Yep.
You know. So.
Let's do it.
All right,
Nice.
sounds good. Bo officially getting put on this bad boy right now. All right, like and subscribe once more, and join us next week where we'll talk about something else, probably even more random than this.
Cool. I can't wait.
I can. No, wait. All right, bye.
See you guys later. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, I was
Totally, it's all good stuff.
yeah,
Always.
this is good stuff.
I don't know if you noticed at the end of one of the episodes, I dropped you just at the very end talking.
Really?
Just
no,
saying,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, from like one of these sessions. I just like, yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
What the? My screen just went black. What the frick?
That's
Hello?
Discord, man. Discord. You could probably still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh,
yeah,
I just refreshed it.
Refresh. Discord goes out sometimes. Like I've done it in the middle of recording. I don't know if it shows up on the thing though.
All right, but how do I get back to the way I had it? The tiled view. Yeah, I don't know either. Grid view. Click. There we go. Huh, I didn't touch anything. That's the weird thing.
I didn't touch
I don't even know. I didn't do nothing. Oh. Well, one of the matchups was comic book nerds versus board game nerds, and I was like, clearly, comic book nerds are way nerdier because you have to know like decades worth of comic backstory, you know, and characters. Like Monopoly doesn't have hey, you guys didn't play 1977.
Monopoly doesn't count
Monopoly,
Monopoly